Every month, the same thing happens. The money comes in, and then, somehow, it is gone. Not on anything big. You did not blow it. You did not gamble it away. There was no single moment you could point to and say, that was the mistake. It just drained. A little here, a little there, until the account that looked fine on payday feels tight again by the end of the month. And here is the strange part. You are not careless. You budget. Mostly. You have read the articles. You know you are supposed to save. So why does the money keep slipping through your fingers? Here's the first clue. Researchers handed one group of people a single dollar bill. They handed another group the same dollar, but as 4 quarters. Same money. Then they watched what people did with it. 63% of the people holding quarters spent them. Only 26% of the people holding the single bill did. Same amount. Completely different behavior, and it had nothing to do with discipline. It was something underneath the discipline, something in the wiring, because your money is not leaking out because you are bad with it. It is leaking through 4 hidden gaps in the way your brain handles money. 4 circuits that fire before you ever make a decision. You have never been shown them, but once you can see them, you can close them. So let us find all 4. Start with that dollar. Why would anyone treat one bill so differently from 4 quarters? It is the exact same value, but your brain does not file it as the same thing. A large bill feels like an object, something whole, something you own. Breaking it feels like damage, like taking something solid and smashing it into pieces that scatter. So you protect it. You hold the big bill a little longer. But coins? Coins already feel broken, already loose, already halfway out of your pocket. So you let them go without thinking. This is called the denomination effect, and on its own, it would just be a cute piece of trivia. Except one thing changed everything. Most of your money is no longer bills or coins at all. It is a tap. Think about what happens when you pay cash for something expensive. You feel it. You count it out. There is a small hesitation as it leaves your hand. Now think about tapping a card for $4.50. No counting, no hesitation. Nothing leaves your hand. It is over before your brain records a loss. To your brain, a small tap is not real money. It is a digital quarter, 6 taps a day, $5 each, $30. It does not feel like $30. It feels like nothing happened at all. But do that every day for a year. And that is almost $11,000. $11,000 your brain quietly filed as rounding errors. This is the first gap. When money feels whole, you guard it. When money feels broken or invisible, you bleed it. And almost all of your money now arrives in the most invisible form ever invented. So here is how you close the gap. You make the money feel real again. Take the money you have set aside to spend, pull it out as cash, in the biggest bills you can, not because cash is magic, but because your brain is far more likely to protect a whole bill than a silent tap. You are not fixing your discipline. You are changing the packaging your discipline has to work with. The researchers proved it. Same people, same money, different form, completely different behavior. That is 1 gap found and 1 gap closed. 3 to go. The first gap hides small money. The second removes the thing that used to stop you spending big money. For most of history, paying for something hurt a little. Not a lot. Just enough. When you hand over cash, a part of your brain called the insula lights up. It is tied to pain, to losing something. So parting with real cash creates a tiny sting, a flicker of loss that makes you pause. That sting is a break. It is your brain quietly asking, "Are you sure?" Now here is what researchers found. They ran an auction for tickets to a sold-out game. Half the bidders had to pay in cash. Half could pay by card. The card group bid up to twice as much, for the exact same seats. The only thing that changed was how they would pay. The card turned the brake off. Because a tap does not sting. The pain that used to make you hesitate is simply gone. And payment companies know this. They have spent billions making the tap faster and smoother. Every confirmation they remove is one less moment your brain could have said, "Wait." So here is how you close the gap. You rebuild the sting yourself. Turn on a notification for every purchase, not a weekly summary. Everyone, the moment it happens, with your total for the day. You spent $40 today. You spent $90 today. It will never hurt like cash, but it puts one small moment of pain back into a process designed to have none. 2 gaps down, 2 to go. Here is a question. Would you rather have $50 right now or $100 in 6 months? If you took the 50, you are normal. Most people do. Now a second question. Would you rather have $50 in 12 months or $100 in 18 months? Almost everyone waits for the 100 this time. But look closely. It is the same choice, the same 6-month wait, the same doubling of your money. The only thing that changed was the word now. When researchers watched this happen inside a brain scanner, they saw why. The promise of money right now lights up the oldest, most emotional part of the brain. The reward you have to wait for lights up the planner, the calm, rational part. And when now is on the table, the emotional part overpowers the planner. This is why saving feels like losing, and investing feels like punishment. You are handing your emotional brain a real loss today, and promising your rational brain a reward it can barely feel. One side whispers, compound interest. The other side screams, that money is gone. And the screaming side usually wins. So here is how you close the gap. You do not try to win the fight. You remove it. The moment your paycheck lands, the money should already be moving to savings, to investing, to debt, before you ever open the app, before the emotional brain gets a vote, because you cannot crave something that already left. Automation does not need you to be strong on your worst day. It just needs you to set it up once. 3 gaps down, 1 to go. The last gap is the quietest and the hardest to see in yourself. Your brain does not decide what is normal to spend by checking your bank account. It decides by looking at the people around you. Researchers found something strange in the data. When someone wins the lottery, the people most likely to go bankrupt are their neighbors. Not the winner, the neighbors, the ones who won nothing. Their spending crept up. They bought the visible things, the new car in the driveway everyone can see, and some borrowed their way into trouble keeping up. Not out of jealousy. Their brain simply moved the line. What felt comfortable yesterday felt like falling behind today. This is why you spent more within months of a raise, before you consciously decided to upgrade anything. New coworkers, new lunch spots, a new normal you never agreed to. And the disguise is perfect. The extra spending feels earned. It feels like finally living the way you should. That is the gap talking. So here is how you close it. You cannot switch the circuit off. Your brain will calibrate to whoever you spend time around. That part is not optional, but you can choose who that is. Keep at least one person in your life who lives below what they could, not struggling, just content with less. Someone whose normal sits lower than yours. Your brain needs that data point in the room, because without it, the floor only ever rises. 4 gaps found. 4 gaps closed. So look at what was really happening. The first gap made small money invisible. The second deleted the pain that used to stop you. The third let the word now beat every plan you made. The fourth raised your floor every time someone near you climbed. 4 gaps, and not one of them is about being lazy or stupid or bad with money. They fire in people who budget, in people who read the books, in people who genuinely try. That is the part nobody tells you. The problem was never your effort. The problem is where your effort was aimed. You were fighting your behavior when the real leak was in the wiring underneath it. You cannot out-discipline your own brain, but you can build around it. Bigger bills, real notifications, automation, the right people, not more willpower, better design. If this finally explained why trying harder never seemed to stick, then you already know what this channel is for. The layer underneath the advice, the part nobody shows you.